Hey everybody, Nerd Transformed here again, and today I'm reviewing the Transformers Titans Return, not Supreme Class, Titan Class, Fortress Maximus. I'm sure you probably know it was Titans Class. But yeah, this one's going to be a little bit different because this is such a huge figure, so the lighting's going to be a little different, the step's going to be a little different. I'm having to review this on the floor. The camera has to sit way back here, so you're going to be seeing a lot of me just kind of walking through here. Just because this thing is so large, and it's very, very difficult to kind of do this. So here he is in his city mode, of course. Now this is as part of my special for hitting 100 subscribers. I do want to thank you all for helping me hit that far. So this will be very, very difficult to do, but I hope you guys will enjoy it. Let's see, where to begin with all this? Well, let's start with the Titan Master he comes with. He comes with little Titan Master here called Emissary, who will be forming the head for Cerebros. And the difference with him is that he does have a different head plate for Cerebros from the Japanese version. Also, this is the version that doesn't come with the sword. This is the original release of Fortress Maximus. This is not the SDC version, which came with a sword. And the Takara Legends version also came with a sword. This one does not come with a sword, unfortunately. So there are a lot of features to go over with this guy. One of the big things, of course, being a city mode, he does have these little flaps. And all the leader classes have these little flaps as well that it can kind of connect to make a much bigger city if you wish. And this thing is a remold of Metroplex, so he actually does have this like big piece that Metroplex had for the arm that kind of detaches. We'll show more of that in robot mode. And when he is packaged in the box, the Takara version comes with the head removed. This one, he has a longer box but smaller width. So instead of the head being removed, the arm is removed, much like Metroplex was. So when you put them together, you are going to have to attach the arm and click it into place. And there's also a lot of stickers. All this right here, all that right there, that, all these little arrows, that's all stickers you have to put on. And all this right here. So just be forewarned, when you get this figure and you want the details on there, you're going to have to apply a lot of stickers. But just to show side stuff, you know, we do here have little Brawn. You can see he does kind of fit into the gate. Wheelie and Bumblebee do fit a bit better. Also, the biggest problem in this scene mode is this gate piece here. This does not hold on at all. It is the flimsiest piece of plastic I've ever seen on a Transformer. So we're going to see if we can get that back on there. That's as good as it's going to get on because I've messed with this all for 30 minutes before, and that's as good as it's going to get on there. But you see, you can have Brawn on the ramp. You can have him slide down. There's also this little compartment here. You can put Legends Class in there and have them like in the repair bay if you wish. Like so. Wheelie and other figures do fit in there a bit better. I'm just using Brawn as the example. There are these ramps here, so you could have like a flying one kind of take off. I don't have a flying one on hand, but you know, you can put Blur here. Have Blur parked there, have him look like he's going to fly off and go do something. Whatever you wish, and you know, there's how big a deluxe is on this thing. So he is a very, very large figure. And for one more comparison, you know, here's Titans Return Blaster, just to give you an idea of how a leader class looks next to this city mode. So yeah, it is a very, very large city mode. Oh, and Blaster's gonna fall over. Come on, Blaster, back out of there. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to be standing up and moving around a lot. This is a very huge figure. This is not going to be easy in the slightest to do. But as mentioned, he is a heavy retool of Metroplex. For Cerebros here, you know, here he is in his robot mode. He looks pretty nice. The Titan Master, of course, does just fold up like so. And you can click his head on like so. Like that. And he has a pretty nice little looking robot mode. He does have lights and sounds. I unfortunately have not put them in just because I am lazy. But you know, he is a bit taller than a deluxe. I don't have a deluxe in robot mode on hand. But just for a size comparison, here he is next to Voyager Grimlock from Power of the Primes. So you can see he is actually pretty tall for a deluxe. He's almost up to Grimlock's chest here with his head. So he's kind of like a deluxe 0.5-ish, not quite Voyager height, but very close. It's somewhere in between them. Let's see. As far as lights and sounds go, I have looked them up. In robot mode and tower mode, Cerebros does make these little laser blast sounds. And as well as he will also say Cerebros if you hit the button. He has like 2 different laser blast sounds, so you know, you can do whichever you prefer. When he's in head mode, he does say Fortress Maximus. He can say Autobot. He can say Decepticon. He has power up and power down sounds. And when you complete transformation by moving the visor for his head mode, to complete the head, he does make a transformation sound. The one that we all know. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about with this figure. There's also some extras, like these ramps at the end here you can transform the feet to be more like this if you want more of a ramp kind of look. These guns do move and they do detach. We'll show that more in robot mode, but you can detach them, and you can also have this little handler, this little peg on it. The peg does allow it to peg into different spots across Fort Max if you wish, especially if you reverse the peg around. But for now, we're just going to keep them on there. There's a lot of fan modes you can do with the base mode. That's the biggest thing about this figure. If you don't like how the base mode looks, there are a lot of changes you can do with this thing. That is the nicest thing about this figure. There's a lot to do. Like, you can have the ramps out here more if you wish. You can make use of this giant hinge here. He does still have the prison compartment piece from Metroplex, which originally had guns in it for Metroplex, but here you could just use it as the prison compartment to put like a Legends class in. As you can see here, Braun does almost fit in there like that. I'm gonna have some trouble getting them back out now. Come on, there we go. And as you hear, lots of ratchets, lots of clicking. But yeah, the arms aren't really disguised at all, it's just a ramp sling on top of them. There is this compartment here that does pop open. There's like a little bit of a med bay in there, and you do have this gun that flips out that a Titan Master can sit in. I'll show, for example, with Emissary. He can sit in there and operate the gun if you wish. And actually, we're going to leave him there because Cerebros himself can combine into this the form of tower. And all you're going to do for that is you're going to take his feet, just flip them up and out of the way like that. Same with the heel, like so. Then you're going to take the arms. They are on these hinges here with the flaps. You're just simply going to bring them in like so. Make sure everything stays like this. You're going to want to make sure these horns are flipped forward. And what you're going to do is you're going to attach them like this. So what I do is I flip the arms forward where you have like the wiring detail visible. And this beat can be kind of difficult, but you're just going to slide them in. Make sure everything's in place. Make sure the horns are in place for from the head mode, that they don't get in the way. And it does click in. And I believe he would make some kind of sound effect when you click them into place. But that is how you combine Cerebros into the city mode, as well as for the battle station mode we'll show in a minute. But you can see, you can't combine them in. He becomes like a communication tower. So yeah, as I mentioned, there's a lot of features with this figure. There's a lot of things you can do too. These legs do open up to form ramps. I'm not going to show that because it's not technically in the instructions. Plus, this video is going to be really, really long as it is. And I really do want to move on to the battle station mode. But that's the city mode. It's not as good as the G1. I mean, it is just a robot mode just kind of splayed out laying down. As much as the battle station mode was in the G1, but it's even more so here, just laying down, nothing going on really. Really, the only thing that happens between this and the battle station mode is the legs are more splayed out. That's really the main difference. So yeah, this Titan Return one is kind of lazy, but like I mentioned, these legs do split open, and in the Takara version, these are actually glued shut. So that's something that this kind of has points over the Takara version. The Takara version, you had to get that glue undone. Here, these are easy to open. As you can see, they're actually kind of a pain to close up because you gotta make sure everything fits together perfectly, but once you get it going, it's pretty good. And this is starting to come in clipped here. It's gonna transform it like that. So yeah, that's the one thing you can see this one has points over from the Takara version. The Takara version has a lot more going on, I guess you could say, but that is some brownie points you can kind of give this version. And I'm stepping all over my board. I have to wipe that off later. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing into its battle station mode. So I'm going to take Emissary and just put him out of the way. Hopefully not block the camera. Let's see. For this, you're just going to go ahead and get everything flipped back in. And go ahead and flip up this rip, just get out of the way. Main thing you're just going to be doing is turning it to the side. The legs will be straightening out. With very loud ratchets. Same on this side. And just bring them back on. I believe for the battle station mode you're supposed to flip the feet like this, but I could be wrong. And there you have him in his little battle station mode. all set to go. And just like the city mode, he's basically just a robot laying down, but even more so here. I mean, now granted, this is a mode left over from the G1 version. It's kind of expected to be like that, but yeah, he's just a robot mode doing a faceplant. Or not a faceplant, because he is laying on his back. But yeah, nothing really special here, but it is carried over from G1 version, so you can still do it here. It is officially on the instructions in the box. You could have it more armed by having the cannons pointing up. Here's the ramps for stuff to land on. You can still attach cities to it. This piece over here is still loose. You could flip this out for a cannon, like so. And you could have this be the front. This could be like the command base. So yeah, all that good stuff is still available in this mode. It's just a slightly different formation, just a little bit more of a battleship kind of shape to it. So yeah, not particularly special, but you can do it. It's kind of it is kind of the throwaway mode of the figure, even in G1. And I didn't mention this, but there's a cannon on the side of his leg here that this does detach. It has a little port on top you can attach the cannon from this thing in there for, if you wish. Most likely, eventually I'm going to do a fan modes video on this thing, showing off all the various city modes you can do, which will also be a very long video, but we're not going to do that right now. Right now, we're going to go ahead and get him into his mighty robot mode, because that's the main thing you're buying this figure for, let's be honest. So to get started, take the feet into the ramps here and just flip them up to form his feet. Pretty simple. I'll make sure to actually show up on video. There. As you can see, you're just flipping these up to form his feet. We're just going to go ahead and grab them, stand them up, like so. And this figure is about 2 feet tall. So he has, and he's actually slightly taller than Metroplex at the top of the head, so he has reclaimed his name as the tallest Transformer. Go ahead and take Cerebros out, just set him to the side. Let's make sure you can see that, yep. Towers, you're just going to flip these pieces in, and then the tower does split, and you just flip it to the side to kind of thicken his waist. These parts of the ramps just flip down, those form his arms, same with that side, and then this whole ramp at the top here does come unclicked, and this piece is going to just pop off, but then you just fold it down against his back like so, and this ramp does kind of just stay, kind of flip up like that, so it just stays up there. So let's turn that back around. The legs are on these sliders, so you can have the legs more apart like so. The hands just come down the hinge, you can turn them and adjust the fingers however you wish. The thumb is also on the hinge, so place that how you will. The head transformation, you can actually leave the little tiny tight master for it. So you're just going to want to peg that in there. Maybe turn it around. I put it in the wrong way. There we go. And he's basically already halfway to head mode. You're just going to flip him around like this. The legs are on these double hinges. And peg in like that. Flip out the horns. And as mentioned, if you had the sounds and lights in there, when you flip this up, he would make a transformation sound, his eyes would flash. But there's his giant headmaster mode that Cerebros forms. He does form the head for Fortress Maximus, and it just... The hardest part's lining this up because there's a specific size for his tiny tight master to fit in. And if you're not quite doing it right, like what just happened here, the Titan Master arms will get caught and pop off or possibly break. So you just gotta be very careful, line up right, wait for it to click, and when it clicks, you finally have the Mighty Titans Return Fortress Maximus in his giant 2-foot robot mode. Now that the Great Titan Fort Max is in his robot mode, let's go and get size comparisons out of the way. We'll bring in Blur here. And you can see Blur is about the size of his forearm here. I mean, if I put him on the ground, I don't think you can even see him. Bring that down. Yeah, you can see just how tiny Blur is next to this humongous thing. So let's go and get him out of the way. I'm not going to show Brawn because he is extremely tiny, but I will bring in Blaster here, who comes up to... just barely comes up to the top of his leg here. He is just barely touching this red part here. I mean, you can see, even as a leader class, he's just barely reaching the top of his leg. He's just barely touching the knee here. So he's a very, very large figure when a leader class is dwarfed by this thing. But yeah, there's a lot to go over with this guy. He has a lot of joints and ratchets. I gotta say, he's not as quality as old Titan or Supreme classes were. He is bigger than them, but his quality is not as good. There's not as much plastic. He is very hollow. All of his arms, his legs, everything is very, very hollow. His chest is probably hollow too, except for electronics. But as far as articulation goes, he does have a swivel right here at the neck, which is pretty nice considering he's a headmaster at this size. He still gets a head swivel. The shoulders are on ratchets, so they can go forward. They can go that far outward. You can see it actually still kind of tries to fill it in, especially right here. You do get a elbow swivel. You do get a elbow that does go over 90 degrees like so, so you can actually get a pretty good pose with the elbow. The wrists do swivel. They're not ratcheted though. And they are on a hinge that bends inward only, but not outward. But you know, you could have it look like he broke his wrist or something. The thumb is on a hinge. And each finger is only hinged once. It's not hinged 2 or 3 times. It's only hinged once, unlike the Supreme classes from the old days. But, you know, they are bent all at the knuckle there, so you could get kind of a fist going if you want. He's not really going to be holding the weapons because he doesn't come in, but you could do it. He does have a waist swivel that's ratcheted. And the legs, this is going to be a bit hard to show on camera, but they are ratcheted as well. Let's go get the arm out of the way. Ratchet going forward. Going outward. He does get swivel above the knee. He does have a knee joint that's a soft ratchet, or at least softer than the other ratchets. So yeah, he has a good bit of articulation. Not a huge amount, but a decent amount. Whew. He has a hefty thing to move around. So yeah, you can get some decent poses out of him. Although his weight could be an issue because I've had times where I've had his arms out and he was about ready to fall over. This is one of the few times where he's not actually leaning against the wall for once. I've had times where I have to lean against walls just to get him to stand properly, so discretion when you're doing that. There is a big button right here, so if you had sound batteries in it, he would make his sound effects. He's supposed to say like Autobot or Fortress Maximus, whatever else he's going to say. Whew, that actually has me really out of breath. This thing has been a mess to review, I'll be honest. But we're about done. This compartment does still open up. You can take the gun out, and it does come on a little 5mm peg, so it can peg into all over the place. You can have it on his arm. You can have it on his shoulder up here, which is where I like to display it. You can fit a Legends class in here if you want. I still have Bronze car mode here. So if you want, you could fit like a little Legends class in there and just have them trapped in there. You can fit some of them in the robot mode in there to make it look like they're controlling him. He does still have the little compartment on his arm here. These guns do slide off, like so, as I mentioned before. You can flip out these little handles, and Fort Max can hold the guns, but they are a little tricky to get in there. You gotta get right in between his thumb, like so, and slide it into the place that's meant to go in his palm. So it's very tricky to do, but you can get the guns in his hand and give Fort Max a weapon, if you want. And most of the time it ends up popping off the thumb, unfortunately. But I have gotten him to hold the guns before. It's a little tricky to do. It's really just about sliding it back, slotting into place, and he does kind of have like a trigger figure thing going on. So you can have him holding his little double-barrel guns from his legs, if you so wish. He's also covered in little Titan Master pegs, so Titan Masters can stand all over him if you want. There's ones here, there, they're everywhere. I'm not really going to cover where every single one is. Whew. Yeah, this has me really out of breath. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. This has been a big one. He does also have some decent paint apps. I'll admit he's not as good looking as the Takara version. That one has a lot more of a G1 accurate look. But he does still have a decent amount. There's some silver paint here. There's some on the chest. There's white for the face there. Whew, sorry about that, guys. I am really out of breath from this. Silver paint here and here. Mainly just silver paint, but there is a little bit of black here too. Most of the rest of the detail is stickers. Stickers here, stickers on the arm. Stickers all along the chest here. Big old Autobot sticker right there. Stickers, 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 stickers all down here. And don't get me started on the back, because on the back, he has just as much stickers. There's some all along the ramps. All these little engine spots, if you want to call these little rocket boosting spots. These are all little circular stickers all in there. And let me say, those are the biggest pain in the butts to try to fit perfectly in there, because quite a few of them you'll notice are off-center. And I am not going to try to fix them. They are not worth the effort. Especially since most of the time, he's just displayed like this, and all those stickers go to waste on his back. And all three of his modes, they're either on the floor or behind him. So, yeah, they're not really worth the effort in my eyes. But maybe they will be to you. Maybe you want to show his back more. That's up to you. Oh, and as mentioned from the articulation thing, this shoulder piece does open up if you want the shoulder to come outward for whatever reason. Maybe you want to get a pose like that or something. Whatever you prefer. I also gotta say, for how many ratchets he has, the ratchets are also pretty loose. I don't know if that's due to the size or cheapness, but the ratchets are a bit loose. They are very easy to move from position to position. Which I guess is good, but also means he's very shaky. I mean, he's got the wiggles. He definitely has the ratchet wiggles, which do kind of stink. You can see he's starting to lean back now. He is. I mean, that's how much wiggle room those ratchets have in those legs. So that might be something you might be concerned about. I do want to show that, but he does stand alright. You just gotta work with him on it. If he does have balance issues, most of the time I have had to use the arm just sticking out like that just to help him balance a bit better. So yeah, that's just about everything with this figure. He's an enormous figure. If you're looking for a big 2-foot Fort Max, because right now he's going for about $80 to $100, I would say if you're just looking for a big 2-foot transformer, you don't care about the swords, you don't care about the accessories, you just want a big guy for your kids or for yourself, or a big city mode, he might be your choice. If you're looking for the sword or everything, I would say go for the SDC version or the Takara version. Because those come with swords and they are much nicer looking, if I'm honest. If you're looking for something different, you don't really like how you want more quality like the old Supreme classes were, unfortunately you're not going to get that with any of them, really. You're going to have to either go third party or just stick with the old ones from Cybertron and Energon and all of them. So yeah, this is honestly, I would say, not worth the $150 I ended up paying for him because I pre-ordered him when he was first announced. I do kind of regret that. The $80 to $100 price tag, I would say, is a bit more reasonable. Some people may disagree, but I do think $80 to $100 is reasonable to ask for this guy. Especially since he's still a decent large figure. He's still a really decent looking figure, and he looks really good on display, especially at the top of my shelf. But yeah, I would not go out of your way. I would not pay more than $100 for this guy. I do kind of regret that, but you know, things happen. So, this has been Nerd Transformed. Thank you for 100 subscribers, and thank you for helping me get this far. I'm so sorry I'm so out of breath from this review, because he is a big guy, and I've had to move all over the place. I've had these lights on me. But this has been worth it. It has been a great time on this channel, and I do thank you all for watching this long. And I do hope you actually do enjoy this review. I hope it wasn't too weird looking. I hope it wasn't too noisy. But it has been fun, and I hope you all enjoyed it. This is Nerd Transformed, thanking you for watching, and have a great day.